When you turn 40, you realize time is a finite resource. So let's not waste any more time and jump right into it. The number one thing I realized when I turned 40, I realized it all starts and ends with health. A friend of my wife and I passed away a few years ago from cancer. She was only 37 years old. If you're watching this and you're healthy, you're already living the dream. Everything else, money, status, and things, are all just icing on the cake. So take care of your health. You only have one body to live in, and if you lose it, that's it. Game over. The greatest wealth is health. Number 2, I realized good sleep is the best medicine. Most of life's problems can be mitigated when we get a good night's sleep. Without good sleep, I'm really bad at my job. I'm a horrible husband and a hot-tempered father who doesn't know how to control his emotions. But after a good night's sleep, the world looks different. Without enough sleep, we all become tall 2-year-olds. Number 3, I realized that water, H2O, is the greatest drink in the world. Forget Logan Paul's prime drink. Drink Financial Tortoise H2O. It never changes, it's good for your body, and best of all, it's free. I believe that water is the only drink for a wise man. Number 4, I realized I should say no more often. Life is about curation. Curating the right people, the right experiences, the right event. Also that we can live our most optimal life, which means we have to say no more often than we say yes. Be highly selective. Just because someone asks you for something doesn't mean you have to comply. The only way to get more done is have less to do. So value your time and carefully choose how and with whom to spend it with. But saying no doesn't mean we have to be mean about it, which leads to the next thing I realized after I turned 40. Number 5, I realized I can and should always be polite. No doesn't have to come off curt or rude. It can be said politely. I believe in structure, but I don't believe in hierarchy. There is no such thing as I'm better than someone or someone is better than me. Everyone is equal human beings and requires respect as such. So always be polite, even when saying no. Number 6, I realized there is no such thing as being too late. When I started this YouTube channel a few years ago, I was 40 years old. I had 2 previous careers in 2 completely different industries. I had a family, and I had no skills in videography or photography. And all the other YouTubers I saw online were not only younger than me, but way cooler than me. They were so comfortable in front of a camera. They had personality. They had the looks. What did I have? Corny dad jokes, a string of money mistakes, and a ridiculously amazing hair. But after having been on this journey for almost 3 years now, I realized it is never too late. It is never too late to start something that terrifies us. It is never too late to try something different. Life always offers you a second chance. It's called tomorrow. In the spirit of things never being too late, if you've been on the market for a great banking option, I highly recommend you check out SoFi and their checking and high yield savings accounts. Not only do they offer excellent rates, you pay no account fees, and you can earn up to $250 when you sign up and set up direct deposits. Of course, terms apply. Again, if you've been on the search for a great banking option, make sure to check out SoFi. If you use my special link, which I'll have in the description below, you'll be supporting this channel as well, which I very much appreciate. Hopefully a win-win for all of us. Alright, with that said, let's get back to the video. Number 7, I realized that discomfort is great. It is actually a sign that I'm growing. When I was young, I thought discomfort meant this was a wrong path. But now I realize when I feel discomfort, I'm exactly where I need to be. And the more I embrace discomfort, I grow. Everything worth pursuing comes with a little pain. What else on top of discomfort can supercharge your progress? Number 8, I realized that staying power is superpower. Long term is harder than most people imagine, which is why it's more lucrative than many people assume. I don't have any special skills or talent. I can't dance or sing well. I don't have chiseled good looks, and even when it comes to my job, I don't write that great. However, my superpower has always been this: staying power. I'm confident in my ability to stick with something longer than many other people. Many smart and talented individuals get distracted by the new shiny objects, but I don't. I know many talented individuals who haven't gotten far ahead because they didn't give things the time and the investment they deserve. So stay, and stay for the long term. Number 9, I realized I should never underestimate myself. Committing for the long run is hard because we all want results right away. But understand that all good things take time. And if you stick with it long enough, good things will happen. So don't give up. Don't underestimate yourself. Have big audacious goals and strive for the stars. Just know that it will take time. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. Real quick, there's a lot that I'm covering in this video, so if you like something you can use to follow along, you might want to copy my 1-page companion PDF guide. Think of it like a quick cheat sheet you can print and reference to remind yourself all the timeless lessons I'm covering in this video. I feel like I'm always learning better when I can not only hear things, but see them visually as well. So if you like a free copy of this PDF, please go to the link I'll have in the description below. Alright, with that said, let's get back to the video. Number 10, I am stupid. Probably the wisest lesson I learned after I turned 40. The honest truth is that I'm not the sum of all my successes, rather I am the sum of all my stupidity. The dumb mistakes I made throughout my teens, 20s, and 30s. Those have taught me more than my successes, and I'll continue to make more dumb mistakes throughout my 40s. And you know what? That is totally okay, because they'll make me a wiser 50-year-old. Number 11, I realized I care less what other people think. I go for long walks in the park in the middle of the day like an old man. 10 years ago, I was self-conscious. Today, I could care less. I sit under a tree and mindlessly stare at the sky and could care less what people walking by are thinking of me. Because the honest truth is that they really don't care. Number 12, I realized I shouldn't try to impress people. Rather, I should focus on adding value. When I was younger, I was self-conscious because I was constantly trying to impress people. I should tell them what I do for a living, where I went to school, how much money I make. Today, I realize how stupid that was of me. Instead of trying to impress, I should focus on adding value, saying and sharing things that elevates that person's life. It is not about me. And people only care about you when you're mature enough to care about them. Number 13, I realized blaming is stupid, especially blaming others for my problems. No one is out to get me. I'm only stumbling myself when I blame others. Number 14, I realized no one is coming to save me. Just like realizing I can't blame others for my problems, I realized I can't rely on other people to solve my problems. My problems are mine. I have a hard time finding a job? It isn't the company's responsibility to hire me. I'm out of shape? It isn't the personal trainer's job to carve out my six-pack. I don't have enough for retirement? It isn't the government's job to bail me out. It is all on me. I am responsible and the buck stops with me. Number 15, I realize I need to focus on what I can control, not spend all my energy on things that are outside of my control. I can look at my YouTube view stats all day long and cry about why no one is watching my videos. I can look at my investment portfolio and agonize over why the portfolio isn't growing. But they are a waste of time. I need to focus on what I can control, uploading the best, most value-added videos I can make, investing as much money as possible into the market, and letting time do its magic. Number 16, I realized memories trump things. Always. Things come and go, and most often, I forget the things that I owned. What car did I drive 15 years ago? It takes me a while to remember. The jacket that I obsessed over in my 20s? Who even knew what that was about? But that overseas trip we took as a family? That will remain in our memories forever. And at the end of the day, I realize that is what matters. If I'm ever at a crossroad of deciding between a cool experience versus a cool thing, I always choose a cool experience. Number 17, I realized marriage is not 50-50. We don't meet in the middle ground. There is no I give you 50, you give me 50, and we're all happy. No, we each give 100% to each other while expecting nothing in return. Number 18, I realized soulmates are made, not found. In my 20s, I watched movies that talked about finding your soulmate. And once you find that person, it's all roses and petals. Not at all. Completely false. Soulmates are made over time through commitment, hard work, and if I can be blunt, pain. You have to work for it and earn it. Don't believe the fairy tale that you will find your better half. Number 19, I realized that adult-child relationship, especially our relationship with our aging parents, requires redefining. Everyone is constantly changing, and this includes us as well as our aging parents. The child-parent relationship dynamic when we're 10 and our parents were 30 is completely different from when we're 40 and our parents are 70. So recognize that. The transitions are not easy, but necessary if we want to maintain a healthy relationship with our families. Number 20, I realized I need to spend less time looking at the rearview mirror. Not spend so much of my time on what could have been, but rather what is and what could be. Yes, could I have done a better job on this project? Could I have studied harder in school? Could I have been nicer to my kids? Of course, but what is done is done. I have to learn to bookend the past chapters in my life so I can move on. But does that mean we should only look to the future? Not at all. Number 21, I realized I need to spend more time savoring the moment. My best moment is now. I can't change what happened in the past. I don't know what the future holds, but I am in the now. Let me focus on the person that is in front of me, the job that I have right now, the moment I'm experiencing right now. If you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you're living in the present. Number 22, I realized childhood is very short. Just the other day, I remember telling people my kids were 2 and 5. Now, they're 7 and 10 years old. Where did the time go? In the line of savoring the moment, I realized that the time with my children was, is, and will be very short. So I have to recognize that them running into my office when I'm working aren't interruptions, but rather a time to embrace. Adults are fools. Children are wise. For children, everything is new. The adult hasn't seen a new thing in years. Number 23, I realized curiosity is a sign of maturity. When I was younger, I thought wise people knew everything. Wise and mature individuals were the ones that talked the most. However, I realize now that the wise and the mature individuals aren't the ones that talk the most, but the ones that ask most questions and listen. Curiosity. Thus, I realized I want to cultivate the mindset of curiosity. There's so much that we don't know, and the only way we can start chipping away our immaturity is by being curious. Number 24, I realized that it is okay to change my mind. Again, I thought that people who held one point of view and belief throughout their whole lives were mature, wise individuals. They were committed. They were dedicated to their view. However, what I realized after I turned 40 is that being willing to change our mind is actually a sign of wisdom. We form points of views, opinions, and beliefs based on the information that are in front of us at a point in time. And there's no way we know or have all the information at any single point in time. So as we learn new information, we must be willing to change our mind. That, I believe, is a sign of maturity. Number 25, I realized happiness is really based on my expectations. Why am I unhappy that my video got no views? Because I had an expectation that more people would watch it. This doesn't mean I shouldn't have any expectations because goals are important. However, I have to be careful. If I want to manage my emotions, I have to manage my expectations. There is no such thing as objective wealth. Everything is relative, and mostly relative to those around you. Number 26, I realized success is very personal. When I was younger, I believed there was a uniform definition of success: money, fame, power, status. But this is not true. We're also different individuals, so the definition of success should be different as well. And that is okay. Number 27, in the line of definition of success being very personal, I realized I should never let someone else tell me what I should or should not do. If you give people permission, most people will gladly tell you what you should be doing with your life, what you shouldn't be doing, and why you need to listen to them. You own your life, no one else. You are the main character. You make the decisions. Understand that and internalize it. Don't let anyone else tell you what you can or cannot do with your life. Number 28, I realized there is no such thing as good debt. I have owned a lot of debt in my life. Credit card debt, rent-to-own furniture debt, student debt, car debt, mortgage debt. You name it, there's a good chance I owned it at least once in my life. They all served a different purpose, but one common theme across all of them was that none of them I would ever consider good. Debt sucks. The debtor is always a slave to the lender. Number 29, I realized simple just works. You let things be and overcomplication will quickly take over. Only plain vanilla ice cream? No, you need whipped cream, sprinkles, hot chocolate, and 4 other flavors to go along with it. One index fund? No. You need 45 different funds to help you circumvent all the future events that we know are coming. Ignore it all. Plain vanilla is fine, and one index fund is all I need. It works, I understand it, and besides, I don't need the extra calories. Number 30, I realize money is not wealth. There are tons of people who make a lot of money but are not wealthy. So don't confuse the two. Someone who is content with their current state is wealthy. Someone who has healthy relationships is wealthy. Someone who knows what they want is wealthy. Money is only a tool, nothing more. Number 31, I realize the margin of safety gives peace of mind. Too much cash sitting in a checking account? There is no such thing. I like cash. They help smooth out life, they iron out my stupid mistakes, and most importantly, they comfort me. The purpose of margin of safety is to render the forecast unnecessary. Number 32, I realize it's all about the big expenses. I used to agonize over the $2 discount, the $5 coffee, the $10 lunch. However, what matters at the end of the day are big expenses. My home, my car, my investment expense ratios. When I can control my big expenses, I realize the smaller ones didn't really make that much of a difference. Number 33, I get what I paid for. There's a reason why a certain shirt is only $5. You don't need to pay $5,000 for a designer shirt, but understand that there is an optimal medium. If you want things to last long, invest in quality. Number 34, I realized learning to be alone is important. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Being alone is scary. It can be lonely. I have to face the mirror. There is no one else to blame for my problems. But that is the beginning of change. Embrace the solitude. Number 35, I realized taking breaks is important. To be on at all times is not only tiring, but ineffective. Lin-Manuel Miranda came up with Hamilton, his Broadway musical, not while he was toiling away in his office, but rather while he was at vacation, daydreaming by the pool. So take breaks. Number 36, I realize some people don't like me, and I'm okay with that. Some or many people may not like me because our values and personalities are fundamentally different, and nothing I say or do would ever change that. And that is actually a good thing. It makes things very clear because we don't have to waste our time trying. Number 37, I realize I'm no longer afraid to disagree. In my 20s, I was terrified of disagreeing with someone. What if they don't like me? What if they no longer want to be my friend? Now, I realize I'm not afraid to disagree because I feel more confident in my point of view. I want to understand where the other party is coming from because I'm on the mindset that I should always be learning. However, that doesn't mean we have to be on the same page with someone 100% of the time. Number 38, I realize I only want to spend time with people that makes me a better person. Life is precious. Time is precious. So I only want to spend time with people that adds value to my life. Number 39, I realize reading truly changes lives. Nothing has changed my mind more than books. No movies, no conversations, no experiences come close. Books have opened my eyes and mind more than anything. I have always loved books and I'll continue to read until I can no longer. The more you read, the more things you'll know. The more you learn, the more places you'll go. Number 40, I realize I am ridiculously young. When I was 20, I thought 30 was old. When I turned 30, I thought 40 was ancient. But now that I'm in my 40s, I feel younger than ever. The world is my oyster and it's mine for the taking. So won't you join me? Thank you guys for watching. And the theme of turning 40, check out my video on 40 money skills to master before 40 here. Until next time, all the best.